everyone for today's in-house program. Very warm afternoon to each one of you present here, respected principal, dear teachers and other staff members. We all have gathered here for our second in-house training, and as we are dealing with various aspects of micro-teaching, Ms. Priya Rao is going to help us to understand various other aspects of teaching learning skills and different classification of instructional objective. So let's welcome Ms. Priya Rao as our resource person. Hello? Okay. So, good afternoon sister and good afternoon teachers. Myself Priya Rao and I am a PRD teacher, and today I am going to give a presentation on my topic Bloom Taxonomy. So, before going to my topic, I would like to ask you a question. Can anyone please tell me what is the meaning of this word taxonomy? Yes, classification. The word taxonomy is classification. So, what the Bloom taxonomy wants to tell us? It helps us to define and understand the different level of human cognition. That includes their understanding, their thinking, and their knowledge. So, what are the purpose behind the formation of this Bloom taxonomy? There are the three main purposes. First one, it helps the teacher or an educator to guide, to make a assessment, whether it is formative or summative. Second one, it helps in making the curriculum. That includes theory, in making the lesson plans, in making the projects, and many other learning objectives. And the third one is it's help us making the instructional strategies. That means in making the question papers. So let's go about the slide. Here you can see a picture of a man. He is Benjamin Bloom. His full name is Benjamin Samuel Bloom. He is an American educational psychologist. Once, he and his colleagues create a framework which helps to categorize the educational goals, and that's we call the educational objectives. But later on, it is named after the Benjamin Bloom, so we call it as a Bloom taxonomy. So, as we know that when we bring something new in the society, we have to face some criticism. Similarly, when Bloom put his idea into the society, he also had to face the criticism. But finally, it is accepted by everyone, and in the year of 1956, Bloom's had published his Bloom taxonomy. And from that period till now, we use the Bloom taxonomy in our teaching learning process. Next is the classification of Bloom taxonomy. As we know that no teaching learning is possible without an objective. So, objectives are the main criteria for any teaching learning process. And that objectives we call the learning objectives. Bloom has classified his learning objectives in 3 domains. And what are the names of the domains are? Cognitive domain, affective domain, and psychomotor domain. This cognitive domain is related to our mind. That means its learning is based on the thinking, knowledge. For example, telling, memorizing, recognizing, understanding. All these are the example of cognitive domain. Second, affective domain. It is related to our heart. That means its learning is based on the feeling, attitude, and the emotions of the human. That means its examples are like scolding, appreciating. These are the example of affective domain. And the last one is psychomotor domain. This domain is related to our coordination of the muscles. That means its learning is based on the skill of the student. So the examples of these domains are like typing, operating computer system, playing in the playground. All these are comes under the psychomotor domain. So overall we can say that Bloom's talk about the 3H. So what are the 3H? Can anyone please tell me? Yes, very good. That are our head, heart and hands. So we can say that when a student learns something, understands something, not only his mind gets touched, but his feelings, emotions, and the coordination of muscles. That means the student, his whole body gets touched. Next, the Bloom revised taxonomy. When the Blooms create the domains, he divides his domains into some levels, and he also gives the names of this level. The name of the levels which he gave in the year of 1956, these are knowledge, comprehension, application, analyze, synthesizes, and the last one is evaluation. But in the year 2001, some changes has made. And these are the two prominent changes. First one, the name of the levels are changed. First it is given in the form of noun, but later on it is given in the form of verb. And slightly the position of the levels are also changed. Now let's see here the cognitive domain. As we know, it is a knowledge-based domain, and this domain is divided into the 6 levels. So these are the levels. So first one is remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluation, and creating. And these are given in the form of pyramid and organized in a hierarchical order. That means in the lower level, the complexity of the learning is very low, and in the higher level, that is in the creating, the complexity of the learning is very high. And one thing here, the remember, understanding and applying part, we consider them as a lots. That means lower order thinking skills, and analyzing, evaluating and creating, that we consider this as a HOTS, that is lower order thinking skills. So let's talk about all the levels one by one. So remembering, this is the lowest level in the Bloom's pyramid. Here the complexity of the learning is very low. So we can call it is totally based on the rote learning. Here the student learns something by their heart. And what they do? They memorize whatever is given. And when it is needed, they tell. Suppose in the class 3, we taught them about the noun. It is very difficult for the class 3 to understand the whole concept of the noun. So what they do? They mark up the definition, and when it is required, they tell the definition. So when the student learns something without understand, that's we call its remembering level. So I have a video from the movie Up which helps us to understand this level. Keywords. And some question I have made, like translate this paragraph in English. So after teaching about the translation, we can easily give this type of question where we can give them the paragraph and they have to translate them either from Hindi to English or from English to Hindi. Second example, discuss what happened in Dandi March. So after explaining the whole incident of Dandi March, that is when it started, from where it started, who led this movement, how many days it extended. So after giving this type of question, they are able to write the answer in their own word. That means this is their understanding level. Next is applying. In this part, what the student do? They apply the learned information in the new situation. That means now they are able to apply their theory particles into the practical life. Suppose in the class we taught them about the Archimedes principle. After the understanding about the Archimedes principle, they apply this principle in the objects whatever they found there in home. That means we can say now they are able to demonstrate the things and can also bring some changes. Keywords of these levels are solve, change, use, complete, discover, show, modify, operates, prepare, etc. So these are the keywords, and some questions I have made like solve these following questions by using the formula. Generally this type of questions we give in the mathematics. And the next example is construct 60-degree angle with the help of compass. So after teaching them about the construction process, we can give the question like this. So teachers, I would like to ask you, please suggest me some more questions according to your own stream with these keywords. Can anyone?
Conversion? Change.
Yes, form a question. For example, I have given the question following this example or construct 60-degree. So can you form any question?
Like change 4 kg into gram.
Yes, this type of question. Prepare a chart, we can give them, and use any method and apply there and make a question. Use this application and form the following things. We can give any kind of question from there. Analyzing. Analyzing is the part where the students have to higher order thinking skill. So because these parts are comes under the HOTS, that is higher order thinking. So what the student do here? Student break down their concept, their knowledge into the small pieces and wants to find the connection between them. That means they wants to find the pattern in between them. Suppose in a class we taught them about 2 plus 2 plus 2, 6. But after analyzing, what they find? If we multiply 3 into 2, we also get 6. That means they are now able to analyze the things. And we can say also they are now able to take active part in their learning. And otherwise we can say that now their thinkings go beyond. So let's check what are the keywords here. Like distinguish, compare, connect, illustrate, categorize, select, separate, deconstruct, differentiate, etc. From this keyword, I have taken the two keywords like distinguish and illustrate for framing the questions. So the first question is distinguish, because this is the analyzing level and the students are easily able to analyze the thing. So distinguish between the plant cell and animal cell. Second example is illustrate water cycle with the help of a diagram. Because at this level they are able to illustrate the things. So by giving this type of questions, we are able to understand the analyzing capacity of the student. Evaluating. In this level, the students are able to give their own judgments. Suppose, from the junior classes, we taught them morals from their moral science books. But when they grew up, now they are able to understand what is good for them and which is bad, where they have to go, where they have to not go, what they have to respond and where they have to give no responses. So this type of things now they are able to and give their own judgment. Suppose a boy saw a poor man in a street. After seeing him, he started to analyze in his mind. After some time, in his mind the values are come, which he had previously learned. And what he do? He go and help the poor man. So these are the evaluating part of the student, where they give their own opinion, own justification, own judgment. So let's see what are the keywords in this level. Criticize, categorize, values, because in this level they are able to give the values to their thing. Judge, plan, conclude, discriminate, justify, evaluate, appraise, etc. So these are the keywords of this level. Some questions like categorize, because they are easily can categorize the things. Categorize the soil according to their water holding capacity. Next example is give your own judgment. Because they have the ability to give judgment, so we can give this type of questions like give your judgment whether the use of internet is good or bad. So here from the pictures also we can see that how the small boy helped the poor man. So these are the evaluating portion of the student. So the creating, this is the last part of the Bloom taxonomy of the cognitive domain. Here the student have the higher level of thinking. What the student do here? Student put their different knowledge and form a new one. That means here the student create new products. They can give their new theories also, and they can create new ideas. I have a video here which I want to share.
Of this all things. Thank you.
So here we see that the girl, this is a student of class 5B, Sudevya Bose. She made the first aid box. I have asked them to make a first aid box. So she made. But I have not teach them what put them inside. Because in the book it is not written to put the honey or the boroplast in the first aid box. But she used her creativity, used her knowledge to put that thing. That means his knowledge is in the creativity level, and she did some creativity. So let's see what are the keywords are given. Design, create, opinion, compose, modify, role play. In this level, they are also able to perform a role play, like mime act or any kind of act. Summarize, write, combine, relate, reorganize, etc. So these are the keywords here. Some questions I have made. For before that, suppose one more example, like in the music class. Music teacher had taught about the all chords in the piano. After that, the teacher wants to check the creativity level of the student. So what the teacher can throw a question like this: compose a new piece of music that includes chord in the key of C major. So after giving this type of question, the teacher also learns what are the capacity of the student, what are the creativity of the student. Next example is design a poster, because this is a creativity level. Now the students are able to create a poster like. So we can give the questions like design a poster highlighting energy conservation tip would you take for your school? So we have talked about all the domains of the cognitive domain. Now let's see how this domain helps in the question framing. Question paper framing. The blueprint is given here, and by blueprint we see here from the cognitive domain how many questions we can give in a question paper. And the frequency means approx how many questions we can give. And the percentage is given. That means it includes how much percent. So here see the levels are given of the cognitive domain. So from the remembering we can give approx 3 questions. That includes 16.6.7%. From understanding level we can give 10 questions. That includes 22.2%. Applying, where they have to apply their knowledge, we can give approx 2 questions. That is 4.5%. So now, from the overall lots, that is lower order thinking question, approx we can give 15 questions only in a question paper that contain 33.4%. Now comes to the HOTS, that means higher order thinking skills. And from the higher order thinking skills, we can give approx 30 questions. That includes 66.8%. Let's see how much questions can we give from each level. Like from the analyzing, we can give approx 7 questions. That includes 15.6%. From the evaluating portion, we can give maximum of question. That means 16 questions. And the percentage it contains 35.6%. From the creating, where we have to know the creativity of the student, it includes 7 questions and the percentage is 15.6%. That means overall 45 questions can be given in a question paper from the cognitive domain that contain 100% in a question paper. Affective domain. As we know that the affective domain tells us how we have to deal with our emotions, feeling and attitude. So this domain is not only given by the Blooms, but also his colleague also helped him. So this domain is given by both Bloom and Katzwald. And this domain is also in the pyramid form and arranged in a hierarchical order. That means in the lower level, the complexity of the learning is low, and in the higher level, the complexity of the learning is high. So let's see what are the name of the levels are. And this level is divided into the 5 subcategories like receiving, responding, valuing, organization, and the last one is characterization. So let's talk about all the levels one by one. So the first part is receiving. This is the lowest level. In this level, the students are the passive listener. That means they listen to the others with their full attention. Suppose in this level, students listen to the controversial topic with their full attention and also remember the name of the newly introduced person. Though this level is very low in the learning, but without this level, learning is not possible. Why it is not possible? Because if the student not listen to the others, not listen to the teacher, then how could the knowledge will be passed? So this level is very important for the teaching learning process. So we can say that receiving is about the student's memory and recognition as well. So here also the Bloom has given some keywords like ask, choose, describe, follow, give, hold, identifies, locate, name, point to, select, sit, eject, replies and uses. So teachers, I would like to ask you, please help me to make some questions from this level. Here the keywords are given. So you can make questions from any keywords.
Choose the audible out from the given.
Anyone wants to?
Repeat the following question of location in the mind.
Yes. Thank you, sir, and thank you, ma'am. Or we can say like name. We can ask them that name the places which are located on the bank of the river. Okay, so we can give any type of questions by using these keywords and also check the receiving level of the student. Here is another video, but this video can't be played. So, responding. So this is the second level of the affective domain. Here the students are the active learner. That means they not only listen to the teacher, but they want to be the part of their learning. Suppose if the teacher asks something or asks question in the class, they not only sit over there, but try to respond and give the answers. That means they are the active learner also here. And when the teacher asks the question, they are very willing to give the answer and also feel very satisfaction also after giving the answer. So we can say this is the responding level of the student. So the keywords have been like answer, compile, conforms, discuss, label, helps, labels, perform, practice, present, read. Here the student can read loud in the classroom. Recite. They are able to recite the poems in the classroom. Whatever we given the task in the classroom, they are come first. They want to give the answer. They want to participate in that act. Like reports, making the reports, tells that they want to tell the story to the other. They want to tell their experience, share their experience. So any kind of task they can do. Writes. They can write a paragraph. They can write the essay. So anything they can do. So by giving these keywords, we can create any questions and understand the responding level of the student. Now the third part is valuing. So what the student do here? Now they are attached to a value, object, phenomena, or a piece of information. Suppose from the lower classes which teach them about the morals, and in the morals or the conservation of energies. Suppose one example is like save electricity, save water. So when they grew up, if they see that there is unnecessary uses of electricity, tab is on. So what they do? they immediately go and switch off the light, and also they close the tab. That means now that learning part becomes the part of their habit. They are now giving the values to their learning, and we can say that the student associate a value to the knowledge whatever they acquire, they have gained. So the keywords as given by the Bloom in this level are complete, demonstrate, differentiate, explains, follow, initiates. They are willing to initiate in the any activities, invites, justify. They are able to justify the things, propose, read, select, share, word, etc. So all these are the keywords, and by framing the question from this keyword, the teachers understand the valuing level of the student. Now the fourth part is the organization. Let's see what the student do here. A student can put the different knowledge together and accumulate it according to their own schema. Their own schema means the knowledge which is already present in their mind. So, now the student what can do here? The student is now able to comparing, related the things together and elaborating whatever they learn, whatever the knowledge they acquire. So the keywords are alters, arrange. They are able to arrange the things. Combine. Now they are able to combine the things. Compare, complete, defends, formulates, integrates, order, organize, prepare, relate, etc. So these are the keywords in this level. Now the fifth part, this is the last part of the affective domain. So what the student do here? The student at this level tries to build the abstract knowledge. Here, a belief or values become the part of the system that controls the learner behaviors. For example, now the students are, in this level, the students are able to manage their time between the playing and the studies. And when they grew up, they are able to manage their time between their work and therefore families. And the last one is display a professional commitment to ethical practice on a daily basis. That means they are now able to give their worship to the God, like practicing yoga or do exercise, caring of the parents. So these are comes under the professional commitment on their daily life. So let's see the keywords: act, discriminate, displays, influence, modifies, perform, qualifies, questions, revise, serves, solves, verifies, etc. So all these are the keywords of this level. So we have completing all the domains, all the levels of the affective domain. Now comes to the last part is psychomotor domain. So in the psychomotor domain, which is deal with the change and develop in their behavior and in skill. But Bloom and his colleague never subcategorized this domain. So in this domain, there is no subcategories. So in the last, there is a demerits of Bloom taxonomy. So what are the demerits? So we can say that overlap with or within the categories. Second one, taxonomy also provide no sensible and specific criteria for the assessment. And the third one is taxonomy focus on the abstract cognitive domain rather than on learners. So in the conclusion part, I would like to say that though it is revised in the year of 2001, it should be revised once more according to the present scenario, according to the present need of the education. It should be revised once more. And teachers, I would like to ask you, can you want to give any suggestion regarding this? What will be the benefit for the Bloom taxonomy? What we have to make to improve the Bloom taxonomy according to the present scenario? Any suggestion? Okay. So I have given the one suggestion that adjustments should be made in the difficulty level so that every student engaged regularly in the higher order learning activities. So this is the suggestion I would like to give in the Bloom taxonomy. So my presentation is finished here. Thank you everyone.
Having thanks to Ms. Priya Rao for the well-prepared session, and on behalf of the participants, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to you for preparing well, and it was clear for all of us, entirely a new topic, I hope. So it was a good learning for all of us. Thank you very much.